Baishu is a legendary hero, holy element, monk class, and comes from the Lunar Year Family, where this family provides a bonus of plus 15% special skill for each hero from the same family used. And Baishu also has Aether power, namely counterattack, where Baishu counterattacks 60% of the damage received for 6 turns. Judging from this initial assessment, we can see that Baishu has abilities that lean towards attack. And judging from his basic stats, Baishu has high basic stats and is quite good at defense and vitality. And Baishu has one passive skill, where attack and abilities of all minions owned by enemies are disabled. This effect is said to be very effective when facing minion casters, such as Bera and Freya. Combined with his fast mana generation, Baishu will be a pretty good attacker in attack and defense formations. Judging from the skill effects, Baishu has 4 skill effects. The first and second steals the latest status effect buff from all enemies and randomly distributes them on allies, and if no buffs were successfully stolen, deal 200% damage to all enemies. This skill effect is counted as a debuff and buff, where this effect is quite similar to Qinglong, which is quite good. And when the enemy has no buffs that can be stolen, Baishu deals light damage to all enemies, or equivalent to the damage dealt by Bernadette. The third and fourth skill effects lifts the latest status ailment from all allies and randomly distributes them on enemies, and if no ailments were successfully distributed, deals 200% damage to all enemies. This skill effect is similar to Bertila's skill effect, and I think it's quite good for reallocating negative effects from allies to enemies. And when allies have no ailments that can be transferred, Baishu also deals light damage, which is also equivalent to Bernadette. And when this skill is combined with his fast mana generation, Baishu will be good to fill the wing and flank positions in attack and defense formations. As for the Titan attack team, Baishu is not recommended because he does not have the required skill effects. And for the raid tournament, Baishu will be good enough to use in the buff booster and bloody battle tournaments. And judged from these aspects, Baishu gets an overall combat score of A. And assessed overall, starting from class, family, Aether power, active and passive skills. Baishu is considered a decent debuffer and buffer, because Baishu has a combination of Qinglong and Bertila skills, which can strengthen allies and weaken enemies. And as a damage dealer, if enemies do not have buffs and allies do not have ailments, Baishu can deal up to 400% damage to his enemies, where this level of damage is equivalent to Ruid. If we look at his fast mana generation, Baishu has a great chance of dealing strong damage to his enemies at the beginning of the battle. And if there are no significant changes to Baishu's class, basic stats, active and passive skills, then I can say that Baishu is a pretty good hero to have.